Are you wearing Skims?
Hello? You're currently on the phone with KCK. Yep, that's me.
Good morning, everybody. You are currently on the phone with KCK. That's me. But also some of you don't listen on the phone, which is fine. That was kind of like the gist I was going for is everyone's on their phones, but you're on the phone with me because you're listening to me. But I'm also on my phone all the time, so it just makes sense. But some of you listen on smart speakers. Some of you listen on like a website. So you log on somewhere on the interweb and start listening. So thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah. Sorry. I mean, you guys probably won't know this, but I'm running late. um, yeah, I slept through all my alarms. Remember how I told you I have a backup alarm? Well, that backup alarm came in handy because I slept through all of my other ones. But that's okay because it was a big day yesterday. I no longer live by myself. My cuz Georgie moved in with me yesterday. So yeah, we spent all day yesterday cleaning pretty much, even though it does not look like that. We had to like clear out one of the rooms for her, and so there's just stuff everywhere, and we're like decluttering and getting rid of it, and then plus she has all her stuff. Anyway, it was a long day, and it was a good day, but I was super tired. Plus I didn't go to bed until almost like pretty much midnight, which is rare for me. So, yeah. Anyway, welcome. Good morning. I don't know. I don't know what I should talk about. I mean, I have a list of things I should talk about, but I feel like I need to get better at intros. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'll get more comfortable talking about myself in the future, but as of right now, I guess last weekend or whatever would be considered Halloween weekend. So if you guys all dressed up, that's great. I dressed up as the iconic Chip Skylark. If you guys saw it on my Instagram stories, I wanted to get like a picture to post on my actual like Instagram whatever feed, but they just didn't turn out as great as I wanted them to. The colors were just off, but I put it on my story, and it actually got a lot of views, almost more than any of my other stories. So I don't know. You guys must have liked it. But yeah, I was Chip Skylark, my shiny teeth and me. If you don't know who that's from, it's from Fairly Odd Parents. He's the international pop star or whatever, and his big song is My Shiny Teeth and Me. It's all about his shiny teeth. So yeah, that was me. I don't really dress up for Halloween, but let's see, was it 2 or 3 years ago? I was Jack Sparrow, and I gotta say I did look pretty good. Yeah. But other than that, I don't really dress up. But like Halloween's on a Tuesday today, so that kind of sucks. Which means my birthday's on a Wednesday. My birthday is November 1st, so I always considered like everyone was hanging out and partying, and everyone trick-or-treating and whatever growing up was in celebration of my birthday the next day. So that's how I see it. But it's so crazy that I'm gonna be 22. The time has gone by so fast, and it just keeps going. But you just gotta live life and embrace 22. Like, I'm going to embrace it. So yeah. I've already told you this several dozen times, but I'm going to Vegas this weekend for my birthday to see Katy Perry's last show. And did you guys see Paris Hilton? She dressed up as Britney Spears in the Toxic video, and then she also dressed up as Katy Perry for when she's dressed up at her residency in Vegas, and one of the comments was like, "I actually thought this was Katy Perry. Like, it looks pretty good." And then she has the dark black hair, and someone's like, she could pull off any hairstyle, and it's actually true. She looks really good. But yeah, if you haven't seen that, go give it a look. Um, anyway, let's jump right into it. We have some very, 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 very sad news, you guys. Um, if you're like me, Friends was like my comfort show for years and years and years. It was my first comfort show, that's for sure. My sister always watched it, and so I would always watch it. And then my parents started buying like the DVDs, and yeah, I'd watch that show on repeat, like over and over and over again. But I'm sure you've all heard, but Matthew Perry, he died. That's really sad. He's only 54. Um, there's no toxicology report yet, but it was him. He drowned in his hot tub. They said he was found unresponsive, and he was considered or announced pronounced death on the scene. So there's no signs of trauma, but if we all know, he always struggled with substance abuse, like drug abuse and all that kind of stuff. And what was it, when he was 49, all of that kind of caught up with him, and he was in a coma for 2 weeks. He's on life support. The doctors gave him like 2% chance to live. Yeah, he has had a pretty rough life. And I guess Lisa Kudrow said, this is, I don't know, not recently, but she, whenever she gets stopped by fans and stuff, one of the biggest questions that gets asked is, how is Matthew doing? Because everyone knows just how much he struggles, and it's really sad. He had a book come out last year, Friends, Lovers, and the Big Terrible Thing, and I've always wanted to read it. Every time I look at, like, see it in the store, I'm like, oh, I want to read that, I want to read that. But I want to read it even more, which is sad that I want to read it more just because now he's gone. That's like not the reason, but I feel like that happens a lot. People realize, oh, I actually like when artists die, like their music goes, skyrockets for a minute, or people's movies start selling again, or, I'm sure there's going to be a surge of people watching Friends. But yeah, I want to get his book and read it. But he said some like snippets from the book. He had a jet skiing accident in 1997, and that's when he got prescribed pills. And a year later from that, he was taking 55 pills a day, which that's a lot. That's a lot of pills. I can't even imagine. And he checked himself into rehab. He was only 128 pounds, which I think he was pretty tall. Maybe I'm wrong. Hang on, let me check. Yeah, he was 6 foot, so just a little bit shorter than me. So 128 pounds would be very, very skinny. That's crazy. So, but that would be like the first time he went to rehab. He said he went to rehab 15 times in his life and spent over $7 million, which that's like a lot of money. But apparently on the set of Friends, his drinking problem had become an issue, and he said that one day Jennifer Aniston showed up at his trailer, and she's really sweet and nice, he said, but she in a roundabout way said, we can all smell the alcohol on you. Like, we all know have a drinking problem. And that's like kind of one of the first times he had a big kind of wake up call. He said it hit him like a sledgehammer. I think it was just because he respected his cast so much. Like, they're all really, really good friends. So to hear that probably was not very fun, but yeah, he struggled for his whole life. And I guess when it was, I don't know, 3 weeks before he got the role of Friends. Well, I guess before that he moved to Los Angeles with his dad, and that's when he realized he wanted fame and he'd do anything to get it. And he always thought fame would fix whatever was wrong with him, whatever, because he had lots of self-esteem issues. So he's like, oh, being famous will fix that. And he got famous. And he said 3 weeks before he got the role in Friends of Chandler, he was praying and said, I'll do anything. take whatever repercussions, whatever, just to be famous. And yeah, I don't know. I'm not saying that's why he has had an addiction problem, but um, he was that desperate to be famous. He would sacrifice anything, which I don't know. I think being famous would be cool. I think it'd be really hard. I yeah, I think it'd be. I don't know. The benefits would be great, but I do get why some people don't like it. Um, yeah, but again, I don't like when people complain about it to average peasants like me. You know, complain about it to other famous people. Don't complain about it to people who, you know, have to tally up how much money they can spend on groceries because groceries have doubled in the last year. Anyway, I'm getting off topic, but none of the main cast of Friends, from what I could tell, has said anything. They're probably just like devastated. I mean, they spent over 10 years together, almost every single day. Lisa Kudrow said that the show writers and directors and producers were so picky and finicky about everything that they would be on set for, I mean, hours and hours and hours. Like they would retake the same scene over and over and over. So it's like they were together for a long, long time. And so they're obviously like family at this point. I'm sure they're just devastated. And I mean, he's only 54. Like that's really young. But yeah, that's really sad. Gwyneth Paltrow did write something though. She put it on Instagram and she said that they met in Williamsburg, at the Williamsburg Theater Festival in Massachusetts. It was just, I'm sure they were there to do like plays and stuff, but she said it was a magical summer and they swam in creeks, they went to bars, they even kissed in a field. She said they drifted apart over the years, but she was always so excited to see him whenever they did see him or see each other. And then she ended it with, I hope Matthew is at peace at long last. I really do, which is really sad because, yeah, he obviously struggled for years, basically his whole life. He wasn't married, so he's just kind of survived by his parents and he has five half siblings. But one of the main scenes that I always think about is on Friends is when he's stuck in the ATM with Jill Goodacre. Which, did you guys know Jill Goodacre is a real person? I had no idea until I googled it yesterday because I wanted to get the line right. She's a real person. I didn't know that. She used to model for Victoria's Secret. But yeah, if you don't know what I'm talking about, it's when the power goes out. It's the blackout episode, which is hilarious just in itself. But he's stuck inside this ATM, like it's like a room. I've never seen one like that. But you go inside, and then the ATM's inside, and they get locked in because when the power goes out, the doors just lock apparently. And he calls Joey, and he's kind of like mumbling, and they're like, I don't know what he's saying, Joey. What is he saying? And he mumbles again. He's like, oh my god, he's stuck inside an ATM vestibule with Jill Goodacre. So, and then the line, do you want any gum? No, I'm good. And then he's like, on second thought, gum would be perfection. So, anyway, I hope Chandler is stuck in an ATM vestibule in heaven with Jill Goodacre. It's a pretty big loss, and everyone that's talked about him says he's like one of the nicest guys ever. So yeah, that's just really sad. Sad news. It's always, I mean, it's never exciting or happy when someone dies, obviously, but it's always just a somber time. Sorry, my voice again. It's always just a somber time. But yeah, anyway, let's move on. Let's do some exciting news, some happy news. Dua Lipa is about to drop something, you guys, so get ready for that. She basically owned the last, well, I guess not this year, but the 2 years before that. She was like unstoppable. And I love Dua Lipa. I think she's great. She's one of those. Dua Lipa, you guys, is a person that washes her face every night before she goes to bed. So add that to the list. Maybe I should do a running tally. Okay, I'll remember that today. Dua Lipa washes her face every night. As not, no, what am I trying to say? um, I am not that. Sorry, my God, my voice. I am not that. I did not wash my voice. Oh my God. I did not wash my face last night. I was so freaking tired. Anyway, she posted on her story, it's like a video. She deleted everything. And she posted on her Instagram feed, sorry, that it's like her dancing around and she's like sucking on a key or something. Um, and the caption is, "I'm not here for long." So I wouldn't be surprised if she dropped something like this Friday, a single or something, or announced something more today. But that's good. Dua Lipa is good at what she does. And if you didn't know, she has a podcast and they actually talk about like real important things. um, and she does a book club. Um, yeah, she's like, I don't know how she like does it all, but she does. She said, I read in a magazine article that she's obsessed with writing lists. She writes lists about everything. She writes a list about her favorite restaurants she's been to over the world. She's wrote a list about her like, favorite hotels. Like she has a lists of everything. And I think she's just very organized. Like she is she also said that her schedule is down to like the minute. Like everything is scheduled perfectly for her. And I would like to be like that, but it's just not possible. Like I don't understand how people can do that because things change so quickly. But she manages to do it. So, yeah. Um yeah, Dua Lipa is probably one of my top artists. She what was it, 2021? I listened to We're Good. It's the one, if you haven't seen the music video, it's like not the Titanic, but it looks like that and the ship sinking. But I listened to that 123 times that year. And I don't think it even came out until later in the year. But that was my top number one song. So yeah, I'm excited, okay? Give me a break. um, Kim Kardashian's been working overtime because she just dropped a new men's line, which I am so freaking excited about. I'm about to go throw away all my underwear and replace it all with Skims, because you know it feels good. You know it's going to just be amazing. So there's three different collections. There's the Skims Cotton, the Skims Stretch, and the Skims Sport. So obviously the Sport is like working out. The Stretch is, I guess, if you want to be more stretchy, and Cotton's probably just super soft. But this starts at $16 and goes up to $98, and they do like shirts and they even have socks. So I will definitely be buying those. Maybe that's my Christmas present to myself. A whole new line of underwear. But yeah, she had people model for it, not just people, athletes. Shai Alexander, who's on the Oklahoma City Thunder, that's a basketball team. Nick Bosa, who plays on the 49ers, a football team, and Neymar Jr., who plays soccer, or I guess everywhere else in the world is football. He plays soccer for the Brazilian national, the Saudi pro, and one other team, Ali Halil or something. But he has 216 million Instagram followers. That is so wild. I think, I don't know, how famous soccer is outside of the United States is just insane to me, because doesn't, what's his name, have like tons and tons of followers? Oh my gosh, what's his name? Uh, I don't know. The really, really famous one. Ronaldo. Cristiano Ronaldo. He has like, I don't know, 400 million? Hang on, let me double check. You guys, he has 609 million Instagram followers. That is crazy. That is so many followers. Yeah, okay, so um, soccer's popular, you guys. Soccer is like, people like it. Um, but like, I guess just in America, people are just obsessed with football. Not me, but people. But actually, I am now, and I think you all know why. Uh, no, but that's a lot of people. That's a lot of people to follow. Obviously, there's like tons of inactive accounts and tons of bots and all that stuff. But even to get to that point, that 609 million, wow. what I would give for 10,000 of those followers. I always wonder that, like a billionaire or like a multi mega millionaire, like you could just take, I don't know, like 100,000 from them, and how long would it take for them to realize? But like 100,000 for me would be absolutely life changing. You know what I mean? It would change my life drastically for $100,000. Sorry, you guys. I must be really poor because I keep talking about how poor I am this episode, but I am really poor. I even had to get a new roommate to offset the costs of being poor. I'm just kidding. I don't receive any funds from my cousin moving in with me, but just the funds of having fun. Okay, we get to hang out, we get to watch TV, we get to do puzzles. Like it's just gonna be a great time. Anyway, I don't know where I was going with all that, but yeah, soccer is important around the world. Kim's had all these very in shape men to promote her new men's line. Kim just knows what the hell she's doing. She is, I don't know, her and Kris Jenner. Her and Kris Jenner. Oh, also, you guys, I don't know if you follow Benito Skinner on Instagram or TikTok, but he always does like these videos, and he does one about the Kardashians, and it's Kris Jenner, and she's talking to the devil. And she's like selling her, not her soul, but she's like doing whatever it takes to get her family famous. So if you haven't seen it, he just did a new one, and it's really funny. You should go see it. It's on TikTok. But Kim, we're not done with Kim yet. She has a new bra, which when I saw this video, you guys, I thought it was kind of not a joke, but I think you know which one I'm talking about because I had over like 2 million views on her Instagram. But she's like sitting in a chair, and you can see her nipples through her shirt, and I'm like, oh, okay, I guess that's a look. I didn't know people liked that look, but I think it's coming back. I think it was popular in the 90s. Jennifer Aniston, you could always see her nipples through her shirt. But then Kim starts talking, and she's like doing a skit about how the world, what am I trying to say? Global warming's happening, all this stuff, and she's like, and I'm not even a scientist, but I believe everyone can use their skill set for something. That's why I made the Skims Ultimate Nipple Bra. So no matter how hot it is, these nipples will always be rock hard. So yeah, apparently you can buy a bra that has nipples built in. So if that's what you're into, go for it. But Kim has a line for everything. So, and yeah, as soon as I probably am done recording, I'm going to go and buy the menswear line, because I have the boyfriend tee. I think I said this last week, literally. So, I have the boyfriend tee, and it's from like, I guess the women's collection, but anyone can wear it, and it's very soft, but like it's really short. So I'm excited to have these new men's clothes because they'll probably be longer and really comfortable. And yeah, I'm obsessed. I don't think you understand. I'm obsessed. Speaking of the Kardashians / Jenner, Kylie is launching a new clothing line. And when I saw it, I thought it was going to be like so expensive, but it's actually not that bad. It's like a faux leather line, and it's like coming in multiple drops. It's called Khy, Khy. She did an Instagram video of how she called the name for it, and I don't know if this is true. If it is, she must have dressed up as someone else, because she said she was walking the streets of Paris. No one knew she was there. She'd just go into bars and like cafes and stuff, and whenever they'd ask what the name was, she'd always say Khy. So that's apparently where the name is, Khy. Yeah, but it starts at $48, goes up to $198. It's not like stuff that you'd wear normally around, I don't think. Maybe the jackets, but it's very like it's very like stuff like the Real Housewives would wear, or stuff like that. Like, I don't know, maybe you'll wear it to the grocery store. I mean, who knows, maybe you will. But it's like crop tops and like corset looking things, and yeah, I don't know. I guess if you're wanting that, but she's just gonna add to her billionaire status. Who was I talking to the other day? And I was like, I think it's just interesting when people have a huge following, or like even not even a huge following, but a following in general, and they don't capitalize on it. They don't use it to, you know, create something else to create more income and just kind of be set financially. Like these people that use their um their following to make money are just smart, you know. And I'm not saying like they need to be greedy and take all of our money, but I just feel like why not? Why not do the things that you've wanted to do, or like, you know what I mean? If you have a following, there's someone that's going to buy it, and you might as well utilize it and capitalize off it. Because, I mean, what's the point of just posting and posting and posting and not using it for something? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I get envious when I see people who have, like, actors and, you know, other people that have obviously a following, but they don't have social media. And I'm like, what are you guys doing? Come on. Come on. I think it's in a lot of contracts now. Like, you get more money if you have a following. Like, Dwayne The Rock Johnson, he always gets more money because he has so many followers. And he's like basically a marketing machine for whatever movie or whatever thing he's promoting. So it's like, it actually is is important now. So I think people need to realize that and get on all these social platforms. But yeah. Oh, it drops November 1st, Kylie's new line, which is my birthday. um, so yeah, that's Wednesday. So we'll see how it goes. I'm sure it'll do great. But oh, I forgot to tell you guys, I was in Macy's the other day, and Kylie Jenner's skincare line is in there. So if you're wanting to try it, it's not expensive, and it actually works really good. So if you're in the zone for some new skincare products and you want to try it, just go to Macy's and pick some up. I like the toner. What else do I like? She has a charcoal mask that I like. Her cleanser is actually really good. It's like foamy, like you kind of like the Bath and Body Works lotion or hand soap. It doesn't like have a very strong smell, so it's not gonna like hit you in the face like a Bath and Body Works soap. But anyway, that's just something I saw, so you should go pick it up if you're interested. So this week I was pissed because Real Housewives of Salt Lake was not on, and they didn't even tell us. And if they did, I wasn't listening because I waited and waited and waited, and nothing happened. And so I'm like, well, maybe they switched it to Wednesdays because Real Houses of Beverly Hills was starting. So I'm like, okay. So, but the problem is I have to wait till the next day after they air to watch because I don't have TV. And so that means I have to wait even longer. So here I am Thursday morning looking it up, and it's nowhere to be found. I'm like, what is going on? And yeah, so they didn't have it. They just skipped it. But apparently it's supposed to be back on this week. And trust, I will be watching because I can't get enough. But Real Housewives of Beverly Hills did start. And it's the first season in a long time without Lisa Rinna. Lisa Rinna, if you don't know who she is, she's the one with really short hair, kind of like early 2000s like hair, and the really big lips, which I think she has a lip line. But she, sorry guys, she brings the drama. She would always stir things up. She would always do this, and yeah, I thought she quit, or I thought she got fired, but she didn't. She quit. So she must have just been ready to be done. Denise Richards is supposedly coming back, and if you all know that, that didn't end well between those two. So maybe she just didn't want to deal with it because she was being really weird with that whole thing. And maybe she just realized, like, oh, this is embarrassing. I don't want to be around. I think I'll just step back. But yeah, I was just interested to see how it would be without her on it. Did you guys see, I don't know if you've watched it, but in the confessionals, like when it's just them talking to the camera, Erica Jane had this gold dress on, and it looked so much like the Versace dress Kim wore to the Met Gala Oh, was it 2 years ago? It's that really like skin tight one, almost like chainmail type fabric with the big cross on it. No, it wouldn't have been that year. It would have been the year because Katy Perry had her short blonde hair. So it would have been like 4 years ago, 5 years ago, six. Sorry, I'm just doing math in my head. Anyway, it looks just like that dress, so I'm wondering if it is. I'll have to look more into it and see, but as soon as I saw that, I'm like, I know that dress anywhere. um, but so Kyle Richards is sisters with Kathy Hilton, who's Paris Hilton's mom, and she's been on the show for, I think, the whole time. But she does not like her husband, and it's like obvious we know something's going down between them. But she was like annoyed at anything he said this episode, like rolling her eyes, like like scoffing at him. Um, it was just interesting to see because all the other seasons, they like act like they like each other. I don't know if something happened. Maybe she hinted at it in like the previews, and he's like, Mauricio's like joking around, saying, "Oh, it's nice," or there's cheating allegations in our marriage or whatever, and she's like, "Yeah, it's nice that it's not you for once," or something, and yeah, so there's some tension, you guys. I don't know uh, what's going on, but we will find out, I'm sure. Um, so Dorit hired I don't even know what you would call her, a healer, um, but her name is like Angel. Hang on, let me find it because it's interesting. Her name is Eagle Woman, and she's like very holistic and like spiritual and like um yeah. So I guess they always do this. They always do some kind of retreat, some kind of like guru or fortune teller or something, to clear the air, to clear the energy, to have a fresh start. Every housewife does this. They all do this. They all go on a trip to clear the air. They all go. It's like, okay, you guys, how many times are you going to clear the air? Because like you do it all the time. Um, anyways, Dorit sets this up, and they kind of get all the frustration out from the last season and kind of apologize for things that they want to apologize about. But Erica apologized for being so rude the last couple seasons. She's like, I was obviously going through a whole lot. I was trying to defend myself. I was lost. I was never been at my lowest. And she's like, starts crying, and like, she's like, I really am sorry, and I really love you guys. And everyone's kind of like, wow, it's really weird to see Erica this like emotional and this vulnerable. But then I think it was last year at BravoCon, Erica got asked on stage on like a live panel, whose marriage do you think is headed for divorce next on the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills? And she kind of gets up and saunters over, and she's like, I don't want to answer this. I don't want to answer it. But then she gets up and like trots across the stage, and she's like, PK and Dorit, and she like flips her hair and goes and sits back down, and Dorit confronts her about it, and she's like, why would you do that? Like, why you just seem to get so much satisfaction out of saying that. And she's like, I am a showman, Dorit. I was just giving the people what they wanted. And then it flashes over to Dorit's confessional, and she's like, no, getting up on stage, trotting over there, doing a little head bob, head flip, spinning around, going to sit back down, that's not a showman. That's a bitch. She was like so dead serious about it too. Oh my gosh, it's just so funny. These shows are so great. And then there's Sutton. I'm so sorry. I have such a hard time with Sutton. I think she just bugs me. I can't. I try. I'm sorry, Lakota. I know you like her, but I cannot. I cannot with her. She is one of the most entitled, strange people I've ever seen on TV. And she's like Lisa Barlow. She's always bringing up how much money she has and how she can afford whatever she wants and how she made half the money with her husband. And I did look up, though, when they got divorced, she was getting $300,000 a month in alimony. 300,000 a month. That is a lot of money. And that's just the alimony. She got like half of whatever they built. They own like a baseball team and stuff. Anyway, she's still on the show, but she is trying to find love apparently, and I'm like, maybe maybe change your attitude. Maybe yeah. I don't know. Maybe I'm the only one that thinks this, but I think she's just I'm sorry. She's just hard to watch because I don't know, she just bugs. She bugs so much. And yeah, she has this accent that sometimes it's really thick and sometimes it's not. Sometimes she's from Texas, sometimes she's from Kentucky. Like, it just doesn't make sense. But yeah, I don't know. That's my thoughts on that. Um, yeah. So this week I tried to get Adele tickets. That didn't go well at all, which I'm not surprised because I've tried. This is like my third time trying. But so last Sunday I got an email saying, or maybe I just saw it saying, sign up for Adele tickets, see if you get picked to, have a pre-sale code or whatever. I'm like, oh, I might as well try it, even though I knew tickets were expensive. Like they started like $400 or something. And so I got a email back and I got the pre-sale code, and so I'm at work. I told my boss, I'm like, hey, so tickets go on sale at 2 p.m. today. Can I like take a little break and buy them? And she's like, oh yeah, absolutely. And so I log on. My cousin actually called me and she's like, I can't get on the website. I got a pre-sale code. And sweet. Anyway, we got her on there and she's like, oh my gosh, tickets are $90. I'm going. Okay, bye. And she like hung up. And I'm like, oh, okay, great. And then she texted me a few minutes later. She's like, well, that was a big disappointment. As soon as I clicked on the tickets, it said they weren't available. And now the cheapest ones are $500. I'm like, oh, that sucks. I'm like, okay, well, my pre-sale goes on sale in like, I don't know, an hour. So I will get us all tickets. I'll get me and you and her two other sisters tickets. And she's like, oh, okay. So I log on immediately and all instantly tickets are $400. And I'm like, are you kidding? The very back row was $400. And I'm like, what? So you guys saw how quickly and how fast the other ones sold out. So you surge priced the other sales. Like, that is so ridiculous. I'm like, at this point, it's not her that's asking for the money because she signed a contract with the casinos. It's the casinos and Ticketmaster, and they know that it's going to sell, so they're just trying to make as much money as they can, which, I mean, I guess makes sense because they paid, I don't know, mega millions to get her there. But it's like, when are you going to give poor people a chance? Like, when are you going to give us a chance to enjoy nice things? Yeah, so I didn't get them. I didn't get them again, you guys. And it's the last leg of her residency. But I'm thinking that she'll end the residency and then release an album. But she hates touring. She does not like to tour. So I wouldn't be surprised if she does another something like this. I wouldn't be surprised if she went back to Vegas. Maybe she'll take Katy Perry's spot at the Resorts World. But yeah, so I'm not going again. And I'm really sad. And it's like, I don't even need to be in a spot at her show that's like, right close to the stage. It's not like she's like doing backflips and dancing and stuff on stage. She kind of just walks around and talks to people, and you can just look at the screen. But yeah, I'm sad. Yeah, but she dressed up as Morticia Adams for Halloween for one of her shows, and she kind of did a little tribute to Matthew Perry. She's like, I never knew him in real life, but he always made me laugh, and I had a friend who could do the best Chandler impersonation, and so that character just means so much to me, and I really hope he's resting in peace. And just like that I say, here is When We Were Young. So she dedicated that song to him, which is really sweet. Yeah, but again, sad. Again, just, yeah. Anyway, so I saw this thing on Twitter the other day, and I thought it was recent, but Flo Rida is in the courtroom, and he's, like, dancing to his song Low. So I'm like, oh, what's that about? So I kind of put it in my notes. And then when I was going through it today, it's not recent. This lawsuit is not recent. It was back in January. But apparently, I didn't know this. He was, like, one of the big front runners for Celsius energy drinks, and he kind of put them on the map. Like he would promote them, do all like all this, take it everywhere with him. All these shows, he just carry it around, and in exchange he got like 1% of the company, and just other deals. But apparently they were hiding money from him. They were hiding information, and he found out, and he's like, I don't want any more. I just want what's owed to me. Like I just want things to be right. And so he was awarded $82.6 million, which that is a lot of money. But yeah, it's funny. There's a video. Look on TikTok or whatever. Flo Rida dancing in courtroom, and he's just like jiving to a song. The song is good. It's a good song. But his name is Tremar Dillard. I didn't know that until when I was looking up this lawsuit. It was back in January. Yeah, could you imagine getting 86 or $82 million? I remember hearing about when 50 Cent got paid 50 something million for vitamin water, and he blew it all. Like it's all gone. That'd be really a crazy lifestyle to blow through $50 million within a couple years. And that's just from that deal. Like he almost went bankrupt from all of his other stuff too. Yeah, I'm sure I could figure out a way to spend $50 million, but I would just put it in the bank and live off the interest for a while, and then just keep grinding away. Okay, let's talk about Britney Spears' book, The Woman in Me. You guys, this book is sad. This book is just really, really sad. Hearing her stories from the other side, we always hear the stories from the media side, and just hearing the stories of like when she locked her and her baby in the bathroom, and just hearing how she explained it and she just realized in that moment when someone came to pick up the kids to take them to her ex-husband that she wouldn't see him again, and so she panicked and just grabbed the baby and ran into the bathroom and hid, and just wanted as much time with him as possible. And then they broke down the door, and like just hearing stuff like that, and just all the stuff with Justin Timberlake, and she doesn't ever necessarily like bash on Justin Timberlake. She just kind of says what happened, and he actually disconnected or turned off his Instagram comments. Apparently people were getting a little too mean. Which I don't know. I get, but at this point it's been over 20 years or something, so it's like, okay, that's come and gone. But yeah, even Lance Bass was like, we should all be kind or whatever, like, and show compassion like Britney did. But I'm like, I don't know. He kind of did a number on Britney and Janet Jackson, so it's like maybe his time has come. Maybe it's his reckoning. Maybe he's just got to go through this tumultuous like time. Apparently he was about to get ready to go on tour and release a new album, and this kind of derailed it. But I don't know. I guess that's what happens when you treat women like that. But hearing about her home life was sad. Like when her mom wouldn't let her hang out with her grandma anymore because she got a little fender bender, and her grandma was like the most important person in her life. Hearing just how awful her dad is, just in general. And then when she said she went back to visit home, this was after like her first or second album, and in a house that she built for her parents. And Jamie Lynn Spears was like, why did she get us a house? Like it was an inconvenience to her. And I guess she would just sit in front of the TV, her little sister Jamie Lynn, and would like demand that her mom serve her and feed her. And Britney's like, to be totally honest, she was a total bitch. and she turned to her mom, she's like, you're gonna let this little witch talk to you like that? So I don't think she had very, very fond memories of her little sister, but she was a lot younger than her too, so I don't think they were very close just in general. But so the girl from Zoe 101, oh, hang on, let me find out her name, because I heard her on a podcast or something at the beginning of the year when they were picketing outside Nickelodeon. She was talking about a time that Britney Spears came in, and because Jamie Lynn had said she was spreading rumors about her on set, and she wasn't. And then she was sitting in her trailer, and she said all of a sudden Britney Spears showed up. She had this giant pregnant belly, and she was pissed, and she just went off and started screaming at this girl, and she's like, I was terrified because like you used to see Britney Spears there, and she's just screaming at you for something you didn't do. Hang on, let me get her name. Okay, it was Alexa Nicholas. She played Nicole on Zoe 101. But then it found out, it came about that, they realized that she was telling the truth, and Britney actually apologized to her. But she said it in her book too, which I thought was really cool. She's like, to that actress, I am terribly sorry. She's like, I was a monster when I was pregnant. I was so mean and so just bitter and so just angry all the time. But yeah, to hear about how Kevin Federline like adored her, and then like he just started treating her like so badly. Like she showed up to the studio when he was trying to launch his rap career, which there's a video online of one of his songs that he's like showing somebody, and someone's like, this is what he was leaving Britney for, and it's like one of the worst songs I've ever heard in my life. Anyways, she'd go to the studio and they wouldn't let her in. I'm like, she's Britney Spears. Like, what are you talking about? You're not gonna let her in to see her own husband? And she'd like look through the window, and it would just be him and his friends like getting high and partying with girls. And I'm like, and it's just sad because this whole she just gets taken advantage of because she's so nice. She's just a really nice person, and she's polite, and she doesn't want to rock the boat, and so she just let a lot of people walk all over her. And she said that when she shaved her head, she was just so tired of people looking at her, and she didn't want people to look at her, and she just wanted to be left alone, and she just kind of had a breaking point, and she just shaved her head. And she talks about when she got out of the car and hit the paparazzi's car with an umbrella, and she's like, pathetic, I know, what's an umbrella gonna do? But she was on her way to go and try and see the kids, and at that point she hadn't been able to see them for a long time, and so she was already just like in a bad place. Her cousin went in to get something from the gas station or pay for the gas or something, and the paparazzi were just like standing outside the car like mocking her and pushing her buttons and stuff, and she finally just lost it, and she's like, I just went into a rage and I grabbed the first thing I could see and just went out and just started hitting his car with it. And I don't know, I've always felt bad for her. I've never been like, oh my gosh, she's crazy, but like it's just really sad to hear it from her point of view. And it's not written in a way that seems like it's tailored to make her look better. The book is really like an easy read. It's not like too in depth. It just kind of goes over the basics. But yeah, she just tells about how she was just exhausted and she was overworked and she didn't want to work. And when she said that, people got mad at her. And she talked about like dancing with the snake and how she thought she was gonna die. And yeah. Anyway, I haven't finished it. I'm like halfway through. I'm following along because I'm listening with the audiobook with Michelle Williams reading it. But I will finish it and let you know. But it's supposedly there's going to be a second part to it coming out soon or next year. So, yeah. That's it, you guys. That's all for today. That's all for the day, folks. Yeah, I hope you liked it. Make sure, I always forget to do this. Okay, I had to start promoting myself because I always do this. I always like, I don't want to bug people. I have this thing where if I feel like I've said something once, I can't ever say it again. Sometimes I'll repeat things, but like I don't know. Like I've already told you guys to follow my Instagram, so I'm like, I don't need to do it again, but I do. I'm sorry, but I do. So follow my regular Instagram, KACEY_K. Follow I'm on the phone with KCK. Please rate the podcast and review it. It helps a lot. Tell people about it. Share it on Instagram. I'll repost it on my story. Like, I just really appreciate everyone listening. And I think I have over 700 downloads now. So we're getting close. We're doing pretty good, you guys. We're all in this together. And I love hearing when you guys come up to me and say, I listen to the podcast. Because in my mind, I just don't feel like anybody does, even though I see the numbers on the other side. But hearing it from actual people is really exciting. So yeah, I really appreciate it. Yeah, but apparently rating the podcast is a big thing. Like that's a huge benefit to podcasters. So please do that. Please be kind to me. Anyways, yeah, I don't know how to end this podcast. It's Britney, bitch.